If you've thought about buying a home, building a home, you are far from alone this spring, or even if you're just interested in catching up on the latest in home trends, everybody could probably do with some inspiration when it comes to residential real estate. And you're in luck because this weekend we wrap up the spring parade of homes from the Home Builders Association of the Sioux Empire. And to give you a sneak peek, we've got a really cool house to show you today. I'm joined by the builder, Vince McCormick of Smart Homes. This one is really different, so thanks for having us over.
Thank you.
Okay, first let me scene set for you a bit. We're up here in Northeast Sioux Falls, a neighborhood I have not really explored too much. So off of 6 Mile Road, very close to Fred Assam Elementary, just to give you a sense of where we're at here. And from there, I'm gonna let you take it away because I feel like this is a really cool example of what you can do, first of all, with single level living. It's essentially all one floor in here, right?
Correct.
So tell me a little bit about what you've got going on in terms of the floor plan.
Okay. So our goal with this property was to give everybody an opportunity to come in and get an idea of what might work for them. This house has a lot of different things going on, from a movie room to an exercise room, 1920s speakeasy vibe put into an office. We've also have what we would consider separate area living, and that has been accentuated by having a courtyard design for the home. And it's one of those ideas where we thought we could show people how to have main floor living where you're able to still be able to have separate zones. All the things you might do in a home that are noise focused, if you will, like watching a movie or working out, is on one side or one area of the home. And then you have master quarters that's totally separate from the house, and it's able to be quartered off and be its own private area, along with having two other areas of the house where someone can go and do their work and also could be a guest in your home and feel like they have their own area to live in as well. So
it's more than 3,000 square feet. It's big. Okay, there's a lot of space here on one level. Definitely has a little bit of an urban vibe to it. Sure. And very open. So as you said, you know, you've got your dining, your living space, all really flows. And then I think, you know, the work from home movement is on full display here because it's Sure. Interesting what you've done with the office space here. Walk me through that.
Yeah, so we designed two different styles of offices in here. One that would give somebody an opportunity to come into the home and say, I don't want to take my whole bedroom away. I need that bedroom, but I need a space to work from. I have to rearrange how business is done. My company has sent me home to focus on getting what I can done home, and that's something that is definitely new in the last year. And we've shown how you can take a small space and make it into a place that you can get your work done. And we've also done where you've got a traditional, take a full size, what could be traditionally a bedroom, and make it into a full size full use office. You know,
it's funny. I remember when people had to suddenly work from home, I actually talked to people who converted part of their laundry room into an office. Well, you've built it by design here.
Yes.
It's pretty neat. The hobby areas strike me as the kind of thing that, you know, typically we would find in that lower level, right? I feel like that's just the go-to. Well, there is no lower level here. So Correct. What did you take into account when you were doing that theater room, when you were doing that fitness room?
So we decided to look at what aspects of the home living that people have consistently asked for but didn't know if they were going to be able to find a way to fit it into the main floor living. Out of 7 homes I'm building this year, 3 of them are slab on grades, which means they're going to have to find a way to have all their main floor living and have a separate area that gives them the opportunity to have a living quarters that everyone's in, but if they have children or if they have a group of people over, that they can go to another part of the house and have that separation and have that space where you can still have the kids go and have their space. And that's different. Usually you say, do you send the kids? I remember growing up, it was, you know, parents said, go down to the basement. You know, I knew mom and dad came home from work and they just needed to have that downtime, where now with the idea that 40% of my builds this year are going to be slab on grade. I had to come up with an idea or a way to show people how they could design them so that they could have those different areas, have those different living quarters where people still feel like they're not on top of each other, or the space is one where everything is joined together. You can still have separation even though you're on one level.
Yeah, it's a really efficient use of space. And of course you do still have the spiral staircase in here, which is maybe as much of an accent feature as anything, but I mean, it does lead somewhere. So what's the vision for your loft area?
So originally we didn't know what to do with it. We're like, we got the space, we got to make something cool out of it. So we started thinking, well, maybe we could make it a future area for when the nieces and nephews come over and put a day bed up there, or put one of those big giant pillows up there and have a space to read, relax, and just make it something instead of just a dust collector. We could turn it into something different, and that's kind of the goal. And with my company is, smart homes isn't just smart technology. Smart homes is finding a way to use all the space you have, give it purpose, and make sure that it reflects your lifestyle.
I don't want to leave out the outdoor space. Northeast Sioux Falls has such nice aesthetics when it comes to the outdoor areas. So what's your vision here for this property?
Well, for me, I see taking the courtyard and turning it into a garden, if you will. When you look around this area out here in the east side of Sioux Falls, you start getting some hills and stuff. I think that's something that surprised me when I crossed over Veterans Parkway. You forget that there is some different views. It's not just flat everywhere out here. You kind of grasp that what Brandon has to offer, and the hills and stuff that they have out there, and it's really a unique feature, and it makes it fun to build and do something a little different. You've
done a number of homes in this area. I'm interested by that trend towards slab on grade. That's interesting, but tell me a little more globally, I guess. What has this year been like for you? What are your expectations going throughout 2021 as far as your pipeline? I know there's a lot of interest in building homes right now.
So right now what we've seen is we've got a lot of out-of-town buyers coming in. Over 50% of the houses in the last 15 months have been from people that are coming from out of state, and that's a tremendously different dynamic. When people from out of state, one of the biggest things that is, it's funny to hear is people saying, oh, I think I'm okay with two-stall garage. I've had to walk 6 blocks to my car for the last 10 years of my life and pay for that parking spot that's 6 blocks from my home. So when we, as a builder, I encourage, and so do most of the land developers around here, it's required to have 3-stall garages. And they can't understand the idea of even having a garage door, let alone 3 garages to put stuff in. And that's been something that's been really interesting to see the out-of-state folks talk about.
So. Absolutely. So is there capacity? I mean, if someone is coming on the parade of homes and is thinking about this, what's your advice to them?
This is typically the largest investment that someone makes, is the purchase of a home. And there's a lot of, it feels like people are getting in a rush to do it. I still feel that when you're making an investment and it's something that is going to impact your family, the parade of homes, for instance, is a great time to go out and see what works for you, what you can envision for your family. You get to meet a lot of builders and get their ideas on what they feel they can do for you. And what I suggest to people is it's okay. There's land out there. The developers are working very, very hard to get additional properties secured for people. I don't think we have any issues with being in a situation where there's going to be no land. The guys are pushing very hard. All the developers out here, and they're doing a great job.
Good advice. Okay, so if you want to take a look at more than 40 homes, actually, you can do that this weekend. The Parade of Homes runs May 22nd and 23rd from 1 to 5. We can get you connected with everything you need to know so you can sign up and check these out for yourself, leave with some inspiration, and maybe get connected with a builder along the way. Check us out at www.siouxfalls.business.